All right, what is up, everybody? So earlier this week, if you follow me on Twitter and even on Instagram too, I crossed $100,000 in profits this week, and so I decided I wanted to go or make this video and kind of just walk you through, what I've been through to get to this point. Right? It's easy to find me now and be like, oh my gosh, he's up 100,000, like he must have it all together, or it's like you only see my success now. You don't see when I was up 50K. You don't see it when I was 25. You especially don't see when I was up or when I was down 4,000. So I'm gonna, just walk us through my whole profit curve right here, and I'm just gonna talk to you guys about like some events that happened and like how did I get to this point. So we're gonna start from the very beginning here. We're gonna zoom in here. Let's go right here. So summer 2016, I joined the Timothy Sykes Trading Challenge. And to start off, I was incredibly lazy. I did not study at all. I did not really put any effort whatsoever. I just kind of started trading with a 6K E-Trade account. And so, of course, like most people, it starts off as losses. I'm losing until I get to right here, and I make, I think, like $500. Like I thought I knew what I was doing. I actually had no idea what I was doing, and you can quickly see that, right? I lost all that back very quickly, and just kept losing and losing and losing. And so the first thing that I want to mention is that a lot of people get discouraged by losses, right? A lot of people can relate to this chart of me just constantly losing money, and they get down on themselves. The best thing that I did during this time frame was that the more I lost, the more I realized I didn't know enough information, right? So keep in mind that the further my profit chart goes down right here, I'm actually increasing the amount of hours I'm studying, right? I'm starting to watch more video lessons. I'm starting to watch more DVDs. I'm starting to read more blog posts, more trading books. And I'm just kind of more immersing myself into this community and what I need to learn, because the more I'm losing, I'm realizing, Kyle, you don't know what you're doing, right? You have to learn more. There's something you're not getting. And so, seeing this chart, you just see that I'm gradually downtrending. But I mean, I had like a win rate of like 20%. It was awful. Like I was just as bad as anyone else who would be starting out and didn't know what they're doing. But it doesn't mean I was necessarily discouraged about myself. Like I continually made sure I had to learn more. I had to know more. And so when we get to around, I guess, 7-8 months in, I kind of hit my breaking point. I kind of hit rock bottom where my 6K E-Trade account is now down to 2K, and I do have more money to refund. I could refund a new account if I had to, but reality kind of hit me, and I realized like what I'm doing isn't working. Right? Something has to change, right? I can't just keep bleeding my account to zero and thinking I'm going to become a profitable trader. Like it just doesn't work like that. And so when it got to around here in January and in February, I kind of just took a big step back. I realized like, Kyle, you actually know nothing. You don't know nearly as much as you need to know. And so for probably a week or two, I just only studied. I did not trade. I did not care about trading. I just needed to learn more. And I realized I needed to stop gambling, right? I needed to stop taking trades that weren't good trades. Like I needed to make sure I was going to understand what I was trading and why I was trading it. And so finally, after looking at all my trades and where I was good and where I was bad, I realized dip buying morning panics was something I could learn and actually be good at, right? And so this is where you kind of start to see myself like bottom out, because I'm actually now only dip buying OTC panics and making money. And every other trade, I'm either taking extremely small size or I'm just cutting out all trades altogether. Like I only want to trade dip buys. So it takes me about from March, all the way to May to like kind of tweak my system, tweak the setups, make sure I'm learning how to dip buy correctly. And, that's kind of where I bottomed out. Let's see here. Because a lot of people ask me like, what got you to turn the corner? And that's exactly what it was, is that I just stopped trying to force trades that weren't there. I stopped trying to gamble, and I just looked at what is one setup? What is one setup that I can continually profit on over and over and over again? And so that's when, around this time, I found dip buying. And so I stuck with that. That's really all I traded for quite a long time. And also, actually, sorry, let's go back a little bit. Around this February, January, or March part, I then opened up an Interactive Brokers account, because with E-Trade, I couldn't short stocks under $1 and I couldn't short OTCs. Along with dip buying, I also found out that shorting OTCs would probably be a pretty good strategy for me. So I opened up an Interactive Brokers account. And so from there, I started dip buying morning panics, and I start uptrending, right? I start actually showing some consistency. So around this time in September, I start realizing I can short some stocks with Interactive Brokers. Of course, it's a little bit choppy. Had to tweak some parts of learning those setups, but overextended runners that either have no news or no good news, I started trading those with small size and shorting those. So typically, or really, what happened is I had two setups, right? I had dip buying panics, and I had shorting overextended stocks. So I'm grinding, just taking, ignoring everything else, and we get to break even. After like 7 months of just grinding it all out, I get back to break even, which is a really, really good feeling, and let me know that I could be consistent. I could be profitable. And it's people want to ask, like, how many setups do you have? How many should you be trading? And it's like this right here. This whole area was two. I had two setups. That was it, right? I ignored everything else, and I just dip bought panics, and I shorted overextended stocks. So after that, let's keep going. Next part here. So again, like you can clearly see, I'm starting to get it, and I'm starting to not only get better with every trade, but learn to start increasing size. So you clearly see some of my gains are starting to get bigger. I'm starting to get further up into more profits. And so whether it was a win or a loss, it didn't matter. I was just wanting to get better and better, right? It didn't matter if I was winning or losing. I was just learning with every trade I was taking. And so right around here, you actually see I go sideways a little bit. This is because this is right before PDT, because I had a 6K E-Trade account. I then was down $4,000, so added $4,000 into Interactive Brokers. And so by the time I was break even, I had $10,000 to play with. And so now we get to 15,000, so 15 plus 10. We're right at PDT. And so that's a psychological thing where it's like I'm right below it and I don't want to lose. And so I went sideways for a little bit. I just kind of got scared. I let a number of 25,000 affect me. And that's hard to do. It happens. I've talked to a lot of traders that it affects them, like when they're right below PDT or right above it, it kind of mentally messes with them. But finally I got over it, kept going, kept increasing size, kept getting better. And so then this is the biggest lesson that I want to show you guys, which is right here. So this little dip, actually, let's get a better zoom in here. That was worse. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, so right here, you can see I dropped from like 31,000 down to like 29. And even though it only shows me going down like $2,000, there's a lot more to this little dip. This was when I took my biggest loss of my trading career so far, which was about $3,000 on FPTA. And not only that, I took $3,000 loss right like around the open because I got bought in, and then I immediately proceeded to revenge trade and lose $1,000 more. So in a matter of the first hour of the trading day, I lost $4,000. And of course, I was bummed. I was like kind of blown away. I was kind of like a huge punch in the face. And something that allowed me to really bounce back from that, because you could see here, like it didn't take too long before I continually went up in more profits, right? It didn't take me too long. So it's like, what's the big deal, Kyle? This looks like nothing. But in the moment, it hurt, right? Like I would be lying to you if I said, oh, I lost $4,000, like big deal. No, for probably a week, I felt like devastated. And what got me to bounce back from that was having a positive perspective. So I lost $4,000 in the beginning for the first 10 to 12 months, and I lost $4,000 in a single day, a year later, right? And so I quickly changed my perspective to like, I get to lose $4,000 in a day. Like, as crazy and as wild as that sounds, what was such an agonizing pain in the beginning of me like letting my account bleed dry, I got to the point now where I was losing that much in a single day, and I'm still alive. My account's still intact. I didn't blow up my account in any way, shape, or form. It was just a decent hit. And so the fact that I get to lose $4,000 versus losing $4,000 over like a 12-month period and feeling like I'm never going to make it, that really changed my perspective, and it really allowed me to say, like, you can keep going. Like, this is just the beginning. Like, nothing's going to stop me. Keep going from here. And so I ended up quickly making profits right back away. That's why you almost don't even see that I pulled back 4,000, because I immediately started making trades that were also, making me profitable right away again. So we keep going, and then we finally get to like this home stretch here where you actually see here these stair steppers, right? You see these, like, I'm actually like increasing profits like very quickly. And that is all because of my FBTA loss, right? If you've been following me recently with some of my YouTube recap videos, I have been nailing a lot of these pump and ups, right? Some of my biggest gains have been coming from these pump and ups, and FBTA was a pump and up. So from that loss, I quickly, learned my mistakes, and it made me like 10 times better. So now that all these pump and ups started showing up in 2019, you know, I took my lessons from that trade from FBTA, and I quickly, increased my profits dramatically. And so that's why you see kind of this. It's like a parabolic chart. I keep going up faster and faster because, a lot of people think that if you make a good trade and you profit, there's not much to learn from it, right? You're going to learn more from your losses, which is in some cases true. Clearly with my FBTA loss, I learned how to profit a lot from these next few pump and ups that showed up. But I don't just take losses as lessons, right? I take winning trades as lessons. Like, even though I might win on a trade, there's still something I could have done wrong. There's still something I could prove to be better. So every trade, no matter win or loss, I'm continually looking for how could I get better? How can I improve? And so, most people give up right here. Most people want to give up, but I'm telling you, just having a positive mindset and just wanting to learn more and more and more, and not letting the losses get to you, and realizing, you can learn from a loss, whether it's in or a gain, either way. And sooner or later, as long as you keep money in your account that you can trade with, over time you're going to keep getting better and better and better. You can't, if you keep learning from your trade, there is almost no way you could be gone from this game. Like, you can keep improving if you keep having a positive mindset and learning from each trade you take. So this is where I'm at. I'm at 100,000 profits, and I'm not done at all. Every trade I'm just going to keep learning from. Every trade I'm going to keep improving on, and we're just going to keep going up from here. So yeah, that's a pretty short video, but that's just kind of the basic story of where I'm at from where I started. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.